Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. NBA rumors, Lakers, Warriors get eye-opening links to Bruce Brown trade. After a rapid-fire succession of moves to start NBA free agency, things have been quiet, with some organizations working behind the scenes to upgrade their roster continually. A player who has generated a lot of interest among some contenders is Toronto Raptors swingman Bruce Brown. Entering the final year of his contract worth roughly $23 million, the Los Angeles Lakers and Golden State Warriors have quietly emerged as possible suitors for Brown. Speaking of the Raptors, they continue to explore the market for interest in veteran swingman Bruce Brown, who is entering the final year of his contract at $23 million, said ClutchPoint's Brett Siegel. Brown is highly regarded around the league for his positional versatility as well as his ability to make winning plays that don't always show up in the stats. The 27-year-old held a big role during the Denver Nuggets championship run in 2023, and his expiring contract will be appealing to several playoff contending franchises. The Lakers and Milwaukee Bucks are two teams that showed interest in Brown last season, sources said, and Los Angeles maintains interest in him this offseason. One team whispered to have interest in Brown and was quietly mentioned as a possible suitor months ago is the Golden State Warriors. While unlikely to occur, the Warriors have the ability to move Andrew Wiggins, who is making more than $26 million this season, in a package from Toronto that includes Brown and other assets. This would open up more financial flexibility for the Dubs moving forward. For the Lakers and Warriors, adding Brown makes almost too much sense for either team. His playmaking ability and versatility are beyond underrated, and, more importantly, he has championship experience after his time in Denver. However, which team can make a more attractive offer to acquire Brown from the Raptors? Ultimately, it will depend on what the Raptors want for Brown in any trade negotiations. Although Toronto is trying to become a playoff threat with Scottie Barnes leading the charge, they still have to acquire assets and pieces that can flesh out the final vision. With that in mind, it's good to remember that to acquire Brown, 3 first-round picks, and Jordan Nwora, the Raptors sent Pascal Siakam to Indiana. Considering that the Raptors were able to get so much from the Pacers, they'll likely be looking for equal value when sending out Brown in a possible trade. So, considering that the Lakers have the salaries of D'Angelo Russell, Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, and others to plug into a deal, there could be some traction if the Raptors like the fit of any player alongside Barnes. However, Los Angeles is limited asset-wise elsewhere, especially when it comes to draft picks, so that could make it difficult to finalize a deal since Toronto is likely looking for more than expiring salaries to complement and upgrade their roster. That's where the Warriors, who could use all-star forward Andrew Wiggins as a bargaining chip, enter the fray. Dangling an all-star caliber wing, who would help accelerate the Raptors' rebuild, could be a much more enticing offer for Toronto, especially with Golden State having more movable first-round selections. Again, it all depends on what the Raptors want in a possible Brown trade. But for now, the Warriors can make a much more attractive offer than the Lakers. Buddy Hield gets warm welcome at Warriors news conference. Shavano Buddy Hield couldn't remember the last time he wasn't the best shooter on his basketball team, but he readily cedes that standing to Stephen Curry, now his Golden State Warriors teammate. Steph Curry, he's the one. I've been watching all my life, Hield told reporters Thursday morning during his introductory news conference at San Francisco State. I'm a sponge. Ready to learn. Ready to watch him and see how he goes about his shooting mechanics. The way he goes about how he works, his routine. I think it'll be an interesting year for me. I think it's fun. I'm excited. Hield made his way to the Bay Area last week for Warriors Basketball Academy camp, where he touted his excitement for the 2024-25 season during an introductory news conference with local reporters. The Bahamian guard joined Golden State as an unrestricted free agent and part of the six-team sign-and-trade transaction that sent longtime Warriors guard Klay Thompson to the Dallas Mavericks. Hield, 31, is among the NBA's best shooters, trailing only Curry for most three-pointers made in the past 5 seasons. He signed a 4-year, $37.8 million contract that includes a player option, with only the first 2 seasons fully guaranteed. "I watched these guys play my whole life, in college, even in the pros," Hield said of the Warriors, noting he appreciates the way they move the ball offensively. "I feel as if it's a good fit," said Hield, a career 40% three-point shooter. "Everything takes time, and we'll learn it. It shouldn't be that hard." Hield's three-point proficiency helps fill the void left by Thompson's departure. Hield finished last season playing sparingly in the playoffs with the Philadelphia 76ers, who acquired him in a trade with the Indiana Pacers. Drafted number 6 overall in 2016 by the New Orleans Pelicans, Hield was sent that season to the Sacramento Kings, who traded him in 2022 to Indiana. For his career, Hield has averaged 15.5 points per game and has attempted 58.6% of his shots from three-point range. Though his shooting, via spot-up and movement, should simulate some of what Thompson provided, Hield made clear Thursday he doesn't feel pressured to replace the 4-time NBA champion. "What Klay has done for this organization has been tremendous. I love Klay a lot. He's special," Hield said. "I don't think it's pressure. I think it's fun being in that role and seeing if I can get the same looks he gets. I don't see nothing wrong with it," Hield told reporters with a grin. "But we've just got to take it day by day. Let it come." Hield arrived in San Francisco after playing in Olympic qualifying for the Bahamian national team, coached by Warriors assistant Chris DeMarco. The Bahamas was 1 win away from playing in Paris, bowing out after losing a tight game to Spain. "He's helped me out a lot. He's helped the Bahamas out a lot," Hield said of DeMarco. As free agency began during Olympic qualifying, they talked about how the Warriors operate. "He's told me how I should go about things. It's fun having a coach like that. I have no problem going to Chris where he could help me and guide me through." Hield said he isn't yet sure what his role will be for Golden State. The 6'4" guard adds scoring and creates spacing and depth for a backcourt that features Curry, Brandon Podziemski, DeAnthony Melton, Moses Moody, Gary Payton II, and Lindy Waters III. "Me and head coach Steve Kerr chat here and there, but we haven't really put emphasis on what role he wants me to get into," Hield said. "I know that they're excited for me to be here, and I'm excited to be here," according to Sam Gordon of the San Francisco Chronicle. Utah Jazz trade rumors, addressing the Podziemski versus Kuminga debate. "I'm not sure if you've heard, but Lauri Markkanen has been in some trade talks recently. The Utah Jazz are hacking through the thick weeds of a rebuild but have yet to set its course in a solid direction. The sweet-shooting 7-foot Finnish star is easily Utah's best trade piece, and they've been shopping Markkanen across the NBA. Among potential suitors, the Golden State Warriors have emerged as an excellent candidate to land Markkanen. After all, they fit Danny Ainge's MO flawlessly, a team stuffed full of assets and significant potential to fall apart by the end of the decade gets Utah's front office salivating at the possibilities. Golden State's initial trade offers have been shot down, and for good reason, but Utah's fascination with 2 young Warriors has stoked the coals of trade talks and kept the flame of trade negotiations alive. Those 2 players are Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski. Friction between which player is really available via trade and with the right balance of picks has slowed trade negotiations to nearly a standstill. For the right balance of picks to players, Golden State could part with a valuable piece of their future core in order to obtain one of the NBA's most unique stars in Markkanen, but which player should Utah really want, and who moves the needle in the right direction for the Jazz moving forward? Welcome to Podziemski vs. Kuminga, Turbo Edition. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Jonathan Kuminga? Leave your opinion in the comments.